coming up on the Q30 Newscast. Q30 interviews Quinnipiac President Marie Hardin after her first few months in office.
Get the info and students' opinion on the new University Common Hour and learn about a food recall in Connecticut.
Also, check out a local business fair that happened at Quinnipiac.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Welcome back into Studio 125, and welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Jack Bergman.
And I'm Patrick Sorbero.
On Friday, Q30 Newscast executive producer Andrew Allison got a chance to sit down for an interview with Quinnipiac's new president, Marie Hardin.
Check out the interview to learn more on her time so far at Quinnipiac.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Allison. I'm the Q30 Newscast executive producer, and here with me today is Quinnipiac University's 10th president, Dr. Marie Hardin. Dr. Hardin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and I'm very happy to be here with you, Andrew.
That's awesome. So, just to get started, you've been, school's been going on for about 2 weeks so far this year. What are your first impressions of the school and its students, at the beginning of the semester?
It has been so incredibly exciting for me. I've been waiting for the students to arrive. I got here in early July. So this has been incredibly exciting to me since the students have gotten here, because I've wanted to understand what kind of students does Quinnipiac attract. And I've been blown away by the excitement that I've seen, by the professionalism that the students have, by their eagerness to engage. They have been so welcoming to me. It's been remarkable. If I'm in my office and I'm feeling a little, maybe I don't have much energy, all I have to do, I figured this out, in 2 weeks, all I have to do is walk out of my office, walk out into the quad, and you can feel the energy from the students on the sidewalk. And then I go into that student center and there are things going on. And the excitement, the energy, the hellos, people are not afraid to engage. I love it.
Mm-hmm. That you mentioned the students, you think that's your favorite part of being Quinnipiac's president so far?
Absolutely. We're here for students. Our job is to help each and every student achieve their goals and hone those hopes and dreams for beyond college. That means so much to me. That's why we are here.
So what would you say your goals are for your first year as the president? Do you have any long-term goals, short-term goals?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of my first goals, and this is really important, is getting to understand this community, because there's a unique and powerful culture. And you at this point likely can describe it better than I can, right? So my first job is to know that and understand that, and then start working with the team to figure out how can we elevate that. Part of the way we're going to do that is through our strategic visioning process. You may have heard a little bit about this. I've talked about this a little before, but it involves understanding and cementing the values that drive us, and then working on that next great strategic plan where we come up with our goals as an institution so we can move forward.
So bouncing off of your experience and how you might bring that to Quinnipiac, how is it different from being a dean at Penn State to now being the president of an entire university?
Yeah, big difference in many ways. Penn State, where I was for many years, very large land grant institution, tens of thousands of students in the middle of Pennsylvania. I come to Quinnipiac, smaller institution, a much more, to me, has more of a family, community kind of feel to it, which I love. There's obviously a huge difference in the role of a dean and the role of a president. At Penn State, the colleges are very large colleges, so I certainly had a lot of students that I was involved with, a lot of faculty and staff. But I reported up to a president. So it's a much bigger challenge to be a president.
So would you say that, the size of the colleges at Penn State is like helping you adapt to being a whole university president?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that. I feel very confident that my role at Penn State as a dean helped prepare me very well for my role as president here at Quinnipiac.
So back in the spring when you were announced as Quinnipiac's 10th president, you mentioned your excitement to walk through campus, be at sporting events and other campus events. Why do you find these interactions important? What events are you most looking forward to? Like sports games, maybe?
I got to tell you, I can't wait. I can't wait to go to a hockey game and a basketball game, but also to a cross-country meet and a tennis match and a lacrosse game, all of the sports. My goal is to get to all of them.
I know you've already brought up Tater. The students are dying to know. Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
Yes, so Tater is a border terrier. We adopted Tater a few months before we got here. I have had students say, did you name him after Tater Hall? No. Tater Hall was named after Samuel W. Tater, and so was Tater the dog. So, yeah.
So unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. Dr. Hardin, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to stay updated on all things Quinnipiac, make sure to follow us on X and Instagram at Q30 Television and check out our website at q30tv.com.
Anyone who would like to see the full interview can check it out on our YouTube channel, Q30 Television. This year, the university is starting to host in-person listening labs to gather input on the institution's core values. Small group conversations will be led to hear out students on their ideas about Quinnipiac's core values. The first session took place yesterday, Tuesday, September 9th, and the next will be taking place on Monday, September 29th.
Earlier today, the new School of Business held a networking event in the SB 350 multipurpose room. The event served to reconnect attendees with colleagues and introduce them to new faces as well. The event also provided an exclusive look at the new Innovation Hub in SB 150 and the Summit in SB 349.
Want to learn more about studying abroad? An information session is taking place on Wednesday, September 17th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. They will be talking about spring and summer 2026, and there are over 15 faculty-led courses available.
This year, Quinnipiac University has implemented the brand new Common Hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Christina Semenis is here with all that you need to know.
This year, Quinnipiac introduced a new Common Hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 1:45 p.m. Just 2 weeks into the school year, students already have mixed opinions.
Everywhere it gets so crowded, especially in the cafes, Starbucks. I think that's like my biggest issue with Common Hour. Like, I would have to go and wait in line like at least 30 minutes.
While there are concerns about overcrowding certain spaces during Common Hour, Chief Experience Officer Tom Ellett has a different way of looking at this new opportunity for students.
The goal of Common Hour, one of them, is to actually go to what's being offered during that time, not necessarily go to Recwell or go to the dining hall. So I think everyone will make their choices.
Others plan on taking full advantage of this pocket of free time that classes would have otherwise gotten in the way of.
I know there were speaker series, critical conversation series that I wanted to go to, and I couldn't because I had class. So having those breaks where there's university-wide events is really helpful.
Even if you're not going to any events, it's like you can hang out with your friends, you can go get something to eat, especially with a busy schedule. Like I know some people have 4 or 5 classes in one day, so it's kind of just like nice to have a nice break in between.
The idea of Common Hour was first introduced in 2018 during a strategic planning event and has been in the planning stage for years. But according to Ellett, this school year was the perfect time to put this plan into action.
We finally have academic room in terms of new buildings that allows us to have 2 times a week where we didn't need the classrooms.
Quinnipiac hopes to continue to partner staff and faculty with student leaders to create more joint programs during Common Hour. Reporting from the Student Center for Q30 News, I'm Christina Semenis.
Thanks, Christina. Patrick, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to fall in love with the weather.
Well, Jack, let's breeze right into the 3-day forecast with Amari Smith.
Thanks, Jack and Patrick. With fall right around the corner, you can expect some warmer weather still, except we won't be seeing the sun today. Cloudy skies with a high of 73 and a low of 51. However, tomorrow we have clear and sunny skies with a high of 80 and a low of 55. And on Friday, a little mixture of both, partly cloudy skies with a high of 76 and a low of 52. So get out there as much as you can before the cold breeze of fall comes right around the corner. Stay tuned for my 7-day broadcast in the map of Connecticut, but for now, Q30 has to go on to commercial break.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Yesterday, there was a local business showcase on the Quad where students had the opportunity to engage with business owners.
Melissa Sheehan was there to grab all the details that you need.
Quinnipiac hosted a local business showcase this Tuesday, giving students the opportunity to sample, shop, and support local vendors.
Tables lined the Quad as students stopped by to browse handmade goods, grab food, and learn about businesses in the area. Students who came out say it's a chance to build connections in the greater Hamden area.
I think it's important because we're going to be off campus some days and we're here over the weekend so we can go out and come see them and know what they're about.
It's always great to support local businesses. They have lots of great things that big businesses cannot offer.
Vendors also see these showcases as a way to invest back into the campus community, whether it's offering free samples or simply showing up to connect. Their presence reinforces the idea that small businesses are a part of the student life here.
I can give out samples and hopefully kids will like them and parents will buy them. My favorite part about the students is, like, they're so happy, they're so excited, they're so appreciative. I mean, you just can't beat that.
With dozens of vendors and plenty of student turnout, the showcase highlighted how local businesses and campus life continue to grow together.
Reporting from the Quad for Q30 News, I'm Melissa Sheehan.
Yesterday, during Common Hour, the QU student improv troupe, Comic Sans, performed some of their work. This was their first show of the semester, and the show included a range of content with some spicy language.
Yesterday, the Office of Student Engagement held a first-year event on the Bobcat Way lawn. Students were invited to make their very own trail mix recipes and were encouraged to, quote, embrace the beauty of figuring things out along the way, end quote.
There's been a lot of political news this week. Let's hand things over to Jason Salio for the latest political update.
Thanks, Jack and Patrick. I have a few political updates regarding recent events with ICE and President Trump since last week's newscast. Let's get right into it. My first story, President Trump attended the U.S. Open final on Sunday. Trump was met with a mixed reaction of cheers and boos from attendees. This followed thousands of fans still being stuck outside the stadium when the match began. The U.S. Tennis Association made a statement to fans warning of a half-hour delay due to the president's arrival. Many chanted, "Let us in," as they waited to see Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz face off. Shifting our sights to Georgia, 475 people were detained during an ICE raid. The raid happened at a Hyundai manufacturing site. the lead Georgia agent of Homeland Security investigations, said it was the largest single-site enforcement operation in the organization's history. ICE claimed that the majority of the people detained were of South Korean origin. Since then, the South Korean government made a deal to release the South Koreans who were detained and bring them home. My last story for the night, protests in Chicago after President Trump threatened to send troops to the city. The president's threats began on Friday, but he kicked it up a notch by posting a meme about the matter on Truth Social Saturday. The president posted, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War." The quote being a reference to the movie Apocalypse Now. Since the post, thousands of protesters have taken to the streets to protest what ICE is calling Operation Midway Blitz. That's all the stories I've got this week. Back to you guys on the desk.
Thanks, Jason. Coming up next, we have the full week's weather report.
And a Connecticut grocery update from the FDA. The Q30 Newscast will be right back after this commercial break.
Is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your canine fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
Destroy all do-gooders!
you can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the Q30 Newscast. The leaves are starting to change, and it's almost pumpkin spice season here in Connecticut.
Amari Smith is back with us for the full 7-day weather report. Amari, what's in store for this week?
Thanks, Jack and Patrick. Looking now at our 7-day forecast, you can see the weather is much of the same. Ranging from Friday to Tuesday, we have all partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s. And one thing I'm excited about is no drop of rain whatsoever. And we have the lows ranging from 50 to 60 degrees. Now moving on to the map of Connecticut, you can see that there's scatters of sunny and cloudy skies with Hartford, New Haven, and London with more cloudy skies. However, all of Connecticut is going to have a high ranging from 76 to 80 degrees and the lows ranging in the mid to upper 50s. It's looking like a pretty nice week. Jack and Patrick, do you have any plans for this warm weather week?
Thanks, Amari. I plan on spending time outside with my friends this weekend in the warm weather.
Sounds like a great time, Jack. I know I'll be getting some work done on campus this week while I enjoy the warm temperatures. But even though it's still warm outside, we do have the fall season coming up. What are you looking forward to this fall?
So I'm looking forward to the weather just to cool down a little bit. That way I'll enjoy spending more time outside. I'll be able to play some more sports, maybe play some pickup basketball outside. And I just think it's going to be a lot more fun because the weather's going to cool down, and that way the athletics can get right back to it. What about you?
I'm looking forward to the scenery changing. I love the beautiful colors, especially with the Sleeping Giant right here on Mount Carmel campus. It's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait to get on some hikes and just see the awesome views.
Well, I'm just incredibly glad that your plan doesn't include shopping, because this week, according to the Food and Drug Administration, frozen vegetables in Connecticut are being recalled for potential listeria contamination.
The affected products made by Endico Potatoes of Mount Vernon include bags of mixed peas and carrots with a use-by date of June 10th, 2027, and mixed vegetables with a use-by date of June 16th, 2027. Listeria can cause symptoms that include nausea, abdominal pain, high fever, and severe headache.
In breaking news, popular conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at an event at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Kirk was speaking at an event hosted by Turning Point USA, when he was shot from around 200 yards away.
At this point in time, the shooter is still at large as the suspect originally arrested was determined to not be the shooter. We will continue to follow the ongoing situation and keep you updated.
As our national news segment was recorded before this event occurred, we will now hear from Patrick Walsh on other things that happened around the nation.
Thanks, Jack and Patrick. Here's what's happening around the country. The killing of a Ukrainian woman in Charlotte, North Carolina has created a political firestorm. 23-year-old Irina Zarutska was fatally stabbed to death on the Lynx light rail line by 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., who has been charged with first-degree murder by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. President Trump and members of his administration have condemned the killing, with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy stating on X, quote, "If mayors can't keep their trains and buses safe, they don't deserve the taxpayers' money." North Carolina Governor Josh Stein said that he was appalled by the killing, and Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles said that the city is increasing security on public transit systems. The killing comes as the Trump administration has been cracking down on crime by threatening National Guard deployments in major cities that do not comply with the administration's demands. 2 Lubbock County, Texas sheriff's deputies are lucky to be alive after being injured in a crash involving a distracted semi-truck driver on Monday. Sheriff Kelly Rose said that the deputies Andrew Cavazos and Jorge Martinez were assisting a motorist when a semi-truck rear-ended them and pinned them between their car and the truck and left Cavazos dangling over a guardrail. The deputies were taken to a local hospital where they are now recovering, surprisingly with no broken bones. 57-year-old Gregory Vaught was taken into custody and has not yet been charged with the crime. The National Weather Service is on the ground investigating in 4 Massachusetts towns where 5 tornadoes touched down on Saturday during severe thunderstorms. A team of field inspectors found that brief EF1 tornadoes landed in Holden, Paxton, Berlin, and Stowe. EF1 tornadoes have a wind speed range of 86 to 110 miles per hour. Massachusetts averages around 2 tornadoes per year, but these are the most in the state since June 2011. There are no reported injuries, but damage included some uprooting of trees and branches, some of which were over 100 years old. Local resident Jana Goodnow in Holden said, quote, "It'll change the landscape here. It's like a movie scene. You don't expect to see trees uprooted like that." That's all I have for national news. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the update, Patrick. Unfortunately, it's time for our last commercial break of the night.
When we come back, we have some updates on Quinnipiac athletics.
And a feature on an interesting creature. The Q30 Newscast will be right back.
Here at Sports Pause, we like to have balance between having fun and working hard. Sometimes that competition we cover gets into our producing.
Tune in every Monday night at 9:30 at q30tv.com/watch for all the news, highlights, and more. This is Sports Pause.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. Patrick, you know I'm a big sports guy.
I know, but I'm more of an entertainment guy myself.
Well, let's hear from another person from the sports world about everything Quinnipiac athletics.
Emma Morris has everything that you need to know about QU sports.
Thanks, Jack and Patrick. Starting off, the women's soccer team defeated Rider University 2-1 in Hamden on Saturday. This is the first win of the season for the Bobcats. Rider struck first, but senior Milena Bronco would go on to tie the game 1-1. Then in the second half, senior Morgan Cupo scored to extend Quinnipiac's lead. Sophomore goaltender Olivia Jarvis made 3 saves in the second half to help the team to victory. This is Jarvis's first win.
Field hockey split their trip to Maine this past weekend.
The Bobcats lost in overtime to the University of Maine 1-2 on Friday. Sophomore Lucia Donati put the Bobcats on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but the Black Bears would go on to tie the game and win in overtime. Then on Saturday, Quinnipiac shut out Stonehill College 5-0. First-year Makai Van Winston started scoring off, and then junior Mo Quayle added 2 more goals in the second. Francisca Escoyas had a goal as well as an assist on first-year Rose Marin Van Koolen's goal. The Quinnipiac rugby team took down Brown University on Saturday. The Bobcats would go on to win 33-14 to lock in their first win of the season. Scoring for the Bobcats got off to an early start with help from junior Gabriella Pia and senior Lucy Lamborn, both scoring within the first 10 minutes of action. Layla Cox also helped Quinnipiac extend their lead by scoring 2 more tries before halftime. Sophomore Alexa Kirshner got the scoring in the second half kicked off by knocking in her second penalty kick of the day. Carolyn Medley helped secure the Bobcats' victory by scoring with less than 5 minutes left in action. That's all for sports. Now back to the desk.
Well, I know Emma really didn't talk about all the sports because Quinnipiac doesn't have a certain sport that's on our docket for this fall, which is football. We love fantasy football.
Yes, we do.
So I know Patrick and I are in a league together, and it's just a lot of fun. It's bigger than football.
It is bigger than football. It's about fantasy football, you know, getting together with your friends, having a nice draft party, and for the next couple months just going head-to-head with each other and putting up those points against each other, seeing who will come out on top.
That's all what athletics is all about. It's just getting those friends and getting those connections and just trying to make other people happy and just creating that positive environment. And that's something that not just our fantasy football league does, but all of Quinnipiac athletics does really well at, just kind of creating that sense of a completely positive environment.
Of course.
Thanks for the update, Emma. An unusual critter has found his way into national headlines. In August, Giselle Clarkson, a New Zealander gardener, found Ned, a snail with an uncommon left-coiled shell, a rare trait only found in 1 in every 4,000 snails. The alignment of his shell makes it anatomically impossible for him to mate, unless he meets another left-coiled snail.
Clarkson has launched a campaign to find Ned the perfect match, but to no luck this far. Ned has gained national attention as a symbol for unlikely love, as he currently lives inside a home terrarium. At only 6 months old, Ned still has plenty of time to find a match, but for now, his search for love moves at a snail's pace.
Now, Patrick, I know this is like a little bit of a difference in the species, but what's the kind of the weirdest thing that you've seen in an animal? Like, I think the weirdest thing I've ever seen is I've seen like a moose with like 1 antler, so.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen anything that crazy. I don't really know if I've ever run into like a strange animal.
Are you really like more of a like aquarium kind of guy, a zoo kind of guy? What are we talking about?
I really like natural wildlife because I like to go hiking a lot. My favorite animal are frogs.
Frog.
So anytime I see a frog, you know, I have to go say hi to him, let him know what's up.
Yeah, I'm a penguin sort of guy. Like I like the penguins, not the Pittsburgh Penguins. I just like penguins as a species, and also just a lot of different animals too. So I feel like that's something really cool, and this is just a pretty cool story that is going on from New Zealand. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have on the Q30 Newscast.
Make sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date with all the latest news.
I've been Jack Bergman.
And I've been Patrick Sorbero.
Have a great night, Bobcats.